Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to episode 9 of the character tutorial series. In today's episode we're going to be painting eyes. So the most important part of the face and the one I think is the most interesting to paint. So without further ado, let's go right in. So obviously this is going to be more of a, a stylized look that I'm going for. This is again my style of doing it, so it's not completely realistic. So take it for what it is. But from what I'm going to teach you guys, still, it's going to give you a good, I guess, a good base to go on and add a little bit more detail and bring it closer to what would be a more realistic eye. The structure is basically the same. So this is kind of what I would do really fast, if I were to do a painting, and then depending on the distance of the character and am I going to see this in close-up or not, I might leave it like that, or I might add a little bit more details. But this would generally be something that I start with, so it's very rough, as you can see, but it gives you a good idea, and it kind of defines the face of your character already. So that's what we're going to be going for. But first, the most important part, I guess, of this video is how this eye is built, because I can stylize it, but it's important to know how it's built first, so then you can stylize it any way you want. And we're going to be doing 3 directions, so one facing to the side, one facing to the front, and one facing up, one looking up, I should say. So we're going to start with 3 spheres, and we're going to be drawing little dots on each side, and that's going to be sort of the corner of the eyes. And this is the dots we're going to use to kind of join them with the eyelids. So we're going to take a slightly bigger brush for the eyelid to give it some thickness, and we're going to shape the size of the eye around the sphere, following the sphere as much as possible. In this case, we're looking up, so it's going to be angled this way, as you can kind of imagine, if it's an orange slice, you're looking at it from the top, I guess, and then from the side here, you can kind of imagine the the line going around it and behind the sphere. And since we have our our lines that are a little bit thicker, we can use those to do the actual eyelids, like I was saying. So take a lighter color and paint that. A lighter color, as opposed to the top one that's going to be in the shadow a little bit more, so it should be darker. But now that we have our eyelids, this is the corner of the eyes, very simple. And now the actual iris. And the iris, the size of it, it's all up to you. If you imagine like animes, and when you have very small iris, it means for more serious character or someone that's a little crazy. Bigger one means a little bit cuter character. But yeah, so you can play with the size of that, and you'll see it actually changes the character a lot. And now for the eyelid, the fold of the eyelid, I'm gonna sort of contour the size of the actual eye, but just a little bit higher, and kind of fade the line at the tips. And next, I'm just adding a little bit of shadow, for the bottom eyelid. And yeah, now the eyebrow is basically simplified to three strokes. So you have the 2 tips, and then the middle stroke, which is the most important one, which is the the one that directs the basic direction of the eyelids, the eyelash, and that's going to be used to depending on the angle, going to be used to define the emotion the character is feeling. Now let's just get rid of the sphere that we don't need anymore. If you had it on a separate layer, good for you. You can just delete that layer, it's going to be a little faster. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow in the corner of the eye, where there is less light, where the bridge of the nose would start. So, excuse me, so this part would be a little bit deeper as opposed to the rest. Then add a little bit of shadow on the top of the eye, casted by the actual eyelids. And we're almost there, guys. This is as you can see, it's very easy. Now just add a little bit of a little bit of specular on the eyeballs, and the final sort of hint of light. It can be any size. Basically, this is very simple circular shape for it, but hey, it works. And then finally, the eyelashes. For males, I'd probably not do any. That's kind of what I do normally. I just ignore it for the males because it makes them look a little bit too feminine. And for the females, I'll just sort of clump them up together so that they are more stylized. And if I were to do a portrait or something, where there's a close-up on the face, I'd probably leave some of the details in a little bit more. But considering most of my characters are seen from a distance, I generally sort of stylize it like that so that it reads a little bit better from a distance. And now I'm just adding the hints of lights around the eyes, but that's definitely not needed. It's just that's just fluff at this point. But yeah, that was pretty much it, guys. So as you can see, as long as the fundamentals are there, it's kind of a no-brainer. You just apply it and it'll look like an eye. There's nothing else to say about it. Now I would just simplify it maybe a little bit more, or elongate the eye, sort of stretch it a little bit more, or make it a little bit bigger, or play with the ratio of the actual wide versus the iris, to give different looks to my characters. But that's something you do once the fundamentals, and once you can do the eyes at the top here, that means that you know how it's built, its anatomy, and then you can kind of play with it a little bit. But I wouldn't suggest you go straight to the one I'm doing right now, because again, that's a very stylized version of it, and if you don't know how it's actually built, then it'll probably look not quite right. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Alright, bye bye.